Hey, ladies and gentlemen, how are y'all doing? Today, we are back with another creepy, scary, twisted, dark, negative story time. I have no idea what this is about, but I know it's about a scary roommate. So yeah, without any further ado, let's get into it. You guys scared? You guys scared? Don't jump. Don't jump. Don't jump now. Shout out to everybody that's already liked the video. You know I love it when you guys do that. If you're new to the channel, go ahead and hit that subscription button for me. We don't always do animated stories. We've done a few. We're back with another one. So yeah, if you like those, go ahead and hit that subscription button for me. And without any further ado, let's get into this. I'm ready to get freaked out. Show me something freaky, man. I have no idea what this is about, but let's go. Let's go. You know what I mean? Let's go.
And here we go.
Looking for a new roommate is always a daunting task. Even though you interview and take the time to get to know that person, you don't...
Oh, yeah, I didn't know that's how... Yeah, no. I only have ever thought about having a roommate with somebody that I knew. Trying to interview to get a roommate is like living with a complete... Yeah, I've never... That's... That's... I wouldn't advise that unless you... Yeah.
You really find out who they are until you start living with them. I had begun searching for a roommate after I decided to leave my current residency. I was contacted a couple of hours after placing an ad on the Facebook Marketplace. The message read,
"Hey Chris, I'll be moving out of my current apartment this August and I'm looking to room with someone new, as my roommates are moving to California this year. I'm 27 and I'm currently going to school. When I'm not at school, I enjoy hiking and watching movies. I also apprentice at a taxidermy shop on the days I don't have class. Hope that's not weird. It's always been a fun hobby of mine. Anyway, I'm looking forward to hearing back from you. Have a great day." I also apprentice at a taxidermy shop on the days I don't have class.
Hope that's not weird.
Yeah, that's a little weird. Basically, she's saying she likes to deal with dead bodies, and she's around dead things quite often. It's not insane. It would have threw me off a little bit. If I read that, I would have been like, okay, okay.
First and most obvious reaction after reading the message was to check her profile. She was of medium height, had long, messy blonde hair and green eyes. In her profile picture, I saw her standing with a man and a woman shoulder to shoulder. They each adorned goofy grins and held up peace signs. Under the photo, the caption read, "Love my roommates." I smiled to myself and decided to send her a message back. The sun beat down on us.
Why can we see someone across is that her across the street? Is she about to fly through the window?
What? As we hoisted various objects to the second floor of our new apartment. It took us a couple days to get everything out of the moving trucks and...
Honestly, she looks kind of good. I know that's like a weird thing that has nothing to do with the story, but I just looked at it and looked at the cartoon version of it. I was like, should have looked that bad. I'm very lonely. That's a weird, lonely thought to have, right? Did anybody else think that? Hopefully, I'm not the only one who thought that way as we were looking. Because if I was, then that's a little weirder.
into our new place, but as soon as we did, a wave of relief washed over our sweat-drenched and sore bodies. After a couple more hours of rearranging, we each grabbed a beer from the fridge and sat on the porch. We reminisced about old 90s cartoons and what video games we obsessed over as kids, and as the sun started to set, I truly felt relaxed and confident that things were going to work out. A week later, I started a new job for a construction company that was owned by a good friend of mine. As I was getting ready, I heard the front door swing open. I walked into the living room to see Lunaire and her friend David sliding in a large box. "What you got there?" I asked. Through a strained grunt, she replied,
"I bought a freezer to store some of the animals."
Yep. All right, Lunaire. it's been real, but I think I'm gonna move out now.
The animals.
I didn't even need to hear her finish the sentence. As soon as I heard to store animals, I was like, yep. This is, yeah. You didn't even ask me. Are you gonna ask me? Did you not put in an application to try and be my roommate? Who was interviewing you? Who's interviewing who here? And then you're just gonna buy a big ass refrigerator to put dead zombie goats in? Like, what are we?
You what?
I'm planning on using in my taxidermy work. I hope that's alright.
No, it's not alright. No.
I was obviously hesitant at first, as there was no mention of this happening in the first place, but I eventually accepted and returned to my room to continue getting ready for work. I came home at around 9 p.m. after having a couple of beers with friends and noticed that the freezer was nestled snugly in the lower part of the pantry. A low hum could be heard reverberating off of the inner walls. I was curious to see what was inside,
Don't open
but
it.
I didn't want to intrude on Lunaire's business, so I went into my room and changed into more comfortable clothing.
I mean, I wouldn't open it not because I want to intrude on her business. I mean, she should have never even brought that in. So, I mean, if that's the case, then yeah, you should definitely open it and see what's in there. Forget trying to intrude on her business. You shouldn't even had it in there in the first. I was saying don't open it in case a spooky, mutated zombie goat pops out or something like that. And you see, you know what I mean? I just wouldn't. I'm just really not trying to see what's inside of there. But, like, forget her. What's right to her? She should have never even brought it in there. You know?
After changing, I came back out into the kitchen and started making a sandwich. I opened the fridge and grabbed what I needed. As I turned around, I stubbed my toe on the edge of the island countertop and let out a long, exasperated grunt. Through my frustration, I slammed the fridge door shut and checked my toe to see if there was any bleeding. As I raised my head back up, I was greeted by a shadowy figure. Lunaire was standing in the doorway leading to her room. The darkness behind her almost seemed to envelop her.
Is everything okay?
She said in a deadpan tone. Shit, yeah.
This is getting. I'm getting beat, man. This dude does a good job. They do be really freaky. They do be really scary. This is getting kind of. You know what I mean?
I'm sorry. I just slammed my toe into the corner of the countertop as I was making a sandwich. I hope I didn't wake you.
It's fine.
She said, in the same deflated tone as before. She then turned around and walked back into the darkness of her room. I could tell that she was pissed, so I quietly
What is she
made
pissed
my
about?
sandwich and retreated back to my
What are you
room as
pissed
well,
about?
only hearing the low hum from the freezer
The hell?
against my door.
See, this is why I can't have a roommate. What the hell is she? You mad at me?
Can you please calm down?
Oh, you're mad at me. Oh, you're mad at me for making. Oh, you're mad at me for stubbing my toe and almost bleeding on this big ass refrigerator that's got zombie goats inside of it. Oh yeah, my bad. Sorry. Like what?
I had the next day off, so I was able to sleep in a little longer than usual. When I finally emerged from my room, I walked into the kitchen to make breakfast. As I opened the refrigerator, I noticed that the light wasn't turning on and there was a lack of cold air escaping from inside. I turned around and flipped the light switch to confirm my suspicion. Sure enough, the power was out. Damn it, I muttered under my breath. I walked over to Lunaire's room and knocked on her door to tell her about the power outage if she didn't already know, but there was no answer. I then remembered that she had classes that day and probably wasn't home. I walked back to the kitchen and past the pantry. As I did, I slipped on the floor but was able to catch myself on the countertop. What the? I angrily exclaimed as I looked down at the floor trying to figure out what I had slipped on. It was blood.
Alright, so the moral of the story is just get the studio. Just get the studio apartment by yourself. It's going to be a lot smaller, yeah, but you won't have to deal with any freaky zombie taxidermy roommates. You know what I mean? You won't have to deal with any of that. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean?
It had started to leak from the corner of the freezer and pool onto the floor. I quickly tried to open the freezer to find out the cause of the
This
viscous
man
liquid,
just slipped
but then I noticed that it had a padlock
on
attached to
blood.
it. I don't remember seeing that before. I ran out to my car and grabbed my toolbox from the back seat. I approached the freezer and set my tools down on the nearby countertop. I then pulled out a small pair of bolt cutters and snapped through the metal of the padlock. It fell to the ground with a large thud. I creaked open the top of the freezer and was greeted with a putrid stench that permeated my nostrils. I quickly pinched my nose and walked away gagging in response. I guess I should have realized that was gonna happen, I muttered to myself in between gags. After gaining my composure, I grabbed some gloves from under the sink and started taking inventory. I could see a couple of dead birds and plastic bags wedged into the corners of the freezer. I took each bag out and set them in the trash can nearby. That's when I noticed that the blood was coming from the corner of the larger black bag. I don't know why, but I decided to open the top of the bag and peer inside. I was greeted by large milk.
Alright, we're done. That's it. That's it. Nah, that's it for me. This is, yeah, nah, I think I'm done. I think I'm done. I'll catch you guys tomorrow, I guess.
Key white eyes, a swollen black tongue surrounded by cracked and bloated lips, and the matted hair of a human head. I swiftly dropped the bag and fell backwards onto the floor. My breathing had ceased to exist, and I grabbed the trash can next to me and expelled my disgust into it. I then ran out the door, got into my car, and called the police. As I sat in the interrogation room with a blanket over my shoulders, I couldn't help but think about the face I'd seen. It looked so familiar. That's when it finally hit me. I pulled out my phone and looked at Lunaire's profile picture.
This motherfucker killed her roommate. There's no way. This is insane. This motherfucker. She killed her roommate. She killed! You about to die.
Hey, yo, what the?
You gotta go. You gotta go. You gotta go. You gotta. Don't even go back to the house. Don't grab nothing. You gotta go. You gotta go. It's time to go. Wherever you are, run. I don't care where you are. If you're at a McDonald's, run. As soon as you turn around, she's gonna be right there at the door. You gotta go, bro. You gotta go. You gotta go. Cause you're about to die. It's time to die. It's who?
It was her old roommate. The one she said was moving to California. When the detective entered the room, she started the questioning process, asking me if I started noticing any weird behavioral occurrences around the apartment. Yeah, I stubbed my toe the other day and she creepily stood in the doorway. It seemed like she was pissed, but for some reason I had a strange feeling like she was concerned about something. That's when I connected the dots. She didn't come out into the kitchen because she heard me stub my toe. She came out into the kitchen because she thought I slammed the freezer instead of the fridge. A cold sweat started to form on my forehead as my surroundings became blurred. I could hear a low whine slowly starting to cover up the words of concern from the detective. As my vision started to clear, I could see another officer enter the room and whisper something into her ear as he handed her a piece of paper. "Do you have somewhere you could stay at?" she asked. I mean, I was planning on staying with my parents. They live about 30 minutes outside of town. Okay, she paused. Listen, I don't want to worry you, but we found this picture inside of your apartment. She slid the piece of paper across the table, and I immediately felt like someone kicked me in the chest. The head of Lunaire's other roommate sat on the chair. In the background, scrawled on the wall in blood, read, "Love my roommates."
Okay.
1 hour later.
There's a decapitated head on a chair. You guys seeing this? She said, "Oh yeah, we don't want to alarm you, but we found a photo of a decapitated head with blood writing on the wall that says love all of my roommates. Don't want to alarm you. Don't get alarmed or anything. Nothing too crazy. Just decapitated head with blood writing. The usual."
All of them.
And it just ends right there. That is spooky. It really just ends right there. That's spooky. That's spooky. That was spooky. That was really spooky. That was even spookier than I thought it was gonna be. I'm actually like, that raised my blood pressure a little bit. Okay, that's gonna do it. Well, like I said, moral of the story: just get the studio apartment, man. Just get the studio apartment. Just wait a little longer till you can move out by yourself, dude. Because that roommate, man, try to find a roommate. I don't know about it. I don't know how I feel about that one. That's I'm taking a little bit of a risk there. Okay, that was weird. Man, I wanted that to keep going. They could have ran that for like another 10 minutes. I was down to keep going. Anyways, that's gonna do it. I'll leave a link to Lamar's channel. Go check them out. They do a lot of dope stuff. The creepy dark web story video we watched from them was insane too. I'll leave a link to that at the end. But yeah, man, that's gonna do it. I'm out of here. Hope you enjoyed. Let me know what other animated stories you guys might want to see. Subscribe if you're new. We pretty much do this we do this every day for 100 days or something almost now. And that's gonna do it.